I want to touch on this the lady you talked about while on our way here.
Oh yeah.
Forgot.
Because when you hear police brutality in Nigeria, what the image that comes to mind is boys, men, right? But women are also victims of police brutality. If you watched Gist Lover when they did that tell all about Anambra and the Okuzu Sars, they were talking about the girl that was raped and killed and all of that. But yeah,
Can you go into a story, please,
for
if you don't mind?
me,
Yeah.
for me personally,
Yeah.
I'm, you know, I'm a feminist
Yeah.
and a gender equality advocate. I don't even like hide it. Outside of being a social justice advocate and campaigner, I'm a feminist and a gender equality advocate. And I try to mainstream women in issues because women issues are often overlooked. We are not the target audience. Women issues are not important. But you see, during the NSAS protest, one of the reasons why I marched, apart from Chijoki personally, was Ifeoma. Ifeoma Abugu was just a core member, just like myself. I came in 2018. I can't remember the year she came to serve in Abuja. And she was in her fiance's house. They came to arrest the fiance here in Abuja. Came to arrest the fiance and he was not around. She was in the house. They arrested her. That was the last that was heard about Ifeoma. Autopsy report when the family found out that she was dead, they demanded for an autopsy report. They did the check. They found out that Ifeoma was sexually assaulted. How am I using this? Was raped and killed while in police custody, right? Choked, killed while in police custody, raped. In fact, they found semen that was still livable. How do they say it? In her body, hours, be days after she's dead. it's it was a gory experience for me. Like when I was watching an Arise TV news discussing this, and I was shocked. I cried. My friend was holding me. I was like, "What kind of wickedness would make you arrest someone in lieu of another person? Is wrong. It's not even allowed in the Nigerian Police Act. You're not supposed to do that in the first place, but you did it, and then you had the guts to not just kill her. You raped her and then you killed her. What kind of wickedness like makes you do that? What's how do you sleep? How do you cope with yourself? How do you live with yourself? Be able to eat food, talk to your loved ones, maybe go back to your home and talk with your children when you know that you did such evil, heinous acts. You know what? The family has still not gotten justice up to today. Yes. And that is something that does my head in when I think about it. So recent, such a young girl. She did not. This one is not the one that they will be saying she committed. No, but there's nothing like a perfect victim. But Ifeoma was a completely perfect victim. She did not do anything wrong. The police did not say that she was a criminal. She was arrested because she was in the house of her fiancé, who is supposedly a criminal. Okay, what about the fiancé? Have you guys prosecuted him now? No. So what happened? Why this is no but see ba when we look at the Nigerian police and we look at the evil that they commit, the level of sexual and gender based violence these people perpetuate in this country, if you dip it, if you read the report on Okuzu SARS and how they use bottles to rape, to violate women in the name of torture, you begin to wonder like, who are these people human beings? And they are still within the police force. These are the people that we need to remove. This is why we need that investigation to prosecute these animals. Some of these ladies can't even tell their stories. They live with shame and embarrassment that is not supposed to be theirs. That is for the people that survive it. There are others, countless of them, nameless, forever forgotten.
Yes. I don't know, honestly, man. This is it's shocking. I don't know how I'm gonna put it. Like, I wish the foreigner who listens to this or anyone who doesn't understand how Nigeria works can go to some places in their mind to recognize or to see how the police works in Nigeria. Like, is that extreme? I'm not surprised because I know this is how Nigerian police is, but you go to some places in your mind where is that bad?
It
Like, is that bad that, like, in that documentary as well, the girl had to sleep with the officer, and even the officer knew at that point that
It was more
the
than
brother
one
had died.
officer. He decided to make her his I don't know. And every time he wanted something from her, he would tell her, "Don't you want to see your brother?" You know the funny thing, she was not asking him to release her brother. She was asking for access to see him, and she never saw him. And he kept on sleeping with her, like taking advantage of her. The Nigerian police is wicked. Every one of them, including my uncle that works there, all of them are wicked.
Yeah, you did mention your uncle while we were on our way here. I don't know if it's something you want to get into, but I think you mentioned. Now you've talked about it here. You mentioned him, and it's
All
ironic that
of
your
them.
uncle, yeah,
All of them, from beginning to end, all of them need a proper psychological check.
I don't even think they can
And
continue in the force.
they
They
should
have to
just be
leave. Yeah,
sacked.
yeah, they have
Yes,
to
you are
leave the
right.
force. Yeah,
Leave the force and be
yeah.
prosecuted for the crimes
Which is
that they
most
have
of them, to
committed.
be honest. Yeah, there are always one or two of them. We can always
See,
argue who are.
let me tell you the truth. If you check the cases of sexual and gender-based violence in Nigeria, a lot of them are committed by law enforcement officers.
Of course, yeah, I agree.
A lot of them are committed by law enforcement officers. And it is sad that they are also the people that you have to report to.
Yeah, because they have the power, they have the force, they have the guns.
And we don't have enough women in the
Yeah,
police force.
yeah,
We
of
need
course
more
not.
women.
Yeah.
We need a gender balance in that police force.
Yeah.
Because the level of impunity that happens there, I think we need more women. We need even more women in powerful positions within the police. I don't think we've ever had a female IG. Maybe we need one.
Yeah.
So maybe we can talk to her, because you see, there's level of lack of accountability we have with male figures in Nigeria. Let me give you an example. Mabio was making the Senate president was making jokes of let the poor breathe the other time, and people called him out, and he just came on Twitter and said that it was just a joke and all of that, and that was it. But the current Minister of Women Affairs has made unguarded statements about the victims of sexual and gender-based violence, sexual assault and harassment in the University of Calabar. And women all over Nigeria have written strongly worded letters to her and even to the president asking that she be reassigned. Yes, they have done that. Women held her accountable. She has apologized and they say, "We're not having your apology. We don't think you're fit for your position anymore." Men will never do that. So maybe we need more women in powerful positions within the police to begin, because we can hold them accountable. We know how to hold them accountable. We know where to press the buttons, and we know that we can make them do the right thing. Yeah. But more importantly, like, the police need to be purged.
Yeah, that's what needs to happen.
A purge needs to happen within the
100%.
police force.
And I don't think that can happen at the top level. And I think that's why it's important we keep having these kind of discussions, because I don't think we'll ever get to that point where the top decides to suddenly change herself. I mean, Abuja or the federal government. I don't think they will ever come and be like, you know what, this system that has been working for us for all this while, let us just give power back to the states and let them do their thing. I don't think they will, because like we've talked about on this podcast, that they benefit from it. Mm-hmm. So we have a devolution of power at that level where at least it's a bit easier or smaller.
I mean, Nigeria is so-called a federating union.
And that's what it should be.
The federal government.
Essence, yeah. In essence, that's what it should be. The states should have as much power to govern themselves the way they want to. So, for example, Lagos can be like, we want to have police brutality in Lagos. Okay, fine, no wahala. I can leave Lagos and go to Anambra or go to Kaduna, where I know there are low levels of police brutality, where I know I can be safe and secure, and the police can really be my friend. But in Nigeria, in almost all the cases, the police is not your friend. Whether it's in kidnapping, whether it's in some cases of, or even in most cases of gender-based violence like you talked about, in one way or the other, they're always involved. Even if in the fact of their friend calling them to arrest somebody. Like, in some cases, it's laughable. As someone who has lived abroad, and I look at this and I'm like, the things that the police are being asked to do in Nigeria, you can't do them in Western societies. You can't be holding as a police. You can't be holding someone's bag or holding your madam's tea or bringing tea for your madam. All those silly, nonsensical things that shouldn't be done. So even the police themselves should have a sense of pride.
And
That
dignity.
even they themselves should not be doing the things that they're supposed to be doing. So I think it calls for like a proper revaluation and, like you said, a proper purging. And for me, I just hope that my prayer and my hope is that we keep talking about this, and hopefully at some point something gives in or something changes. I don't know if that will happen, but I'm optimistic about Nigeria. Honestly, I am. I believe that our young people like us,
we are all optimistic about Nigeria, and the problem is that we are willing to put in the work, but would they let us?
I think at some point they will.
Young Nigerians are willing to put in the work. I'm willing to put in my expertise and help them reform the police, but they see it as you wanting to take food off their plates, and so they don't want it.
I think they will at some point. They can't fight this for so long. You can't fight the wind. That's what they're trying to do. Like, at some point, you can't fight. It's like, okay, look at the evidence of answer. Look at even the Obese campaign. Like, it's evident that something is changing in the Nigerian man's psyche and the Nigerian woman's psyche.
Yeah,
our consciousness is being elevated. Things that we weren't talking about before, we're beginning to talk about it.
But this is within us, the non-elites, the
average Nigerian.
The average Nigeria. How does this impact on the elite? Are we seeing this change, or for them it's still business as usual? How do we make the change? Example, even look at what happened in the elections. We wanted to make a change or a revolution through the ballot box, and then we don't know what happened with it. And that is because the elite control all forms. We wanted to do a change through strict advocacy and activism. We are short. You see, Nigeria makes you question your humanity. It makes you question everything you read, everything you know. How does this work? People were walking on the streets, marching, demanding for justice, fairness, and then they were shot, asking you to respect their human rights. And then the highest level of human rights violation occurred to them. So you begin to ask yourself, like, what are we doing here? What is going on? Is there a hope inside? Yeah, there is. I used to be one of those people that said, I don't want to leave Nigeria. I want to stay and work and all. I still want to stay and work, but I think I might need to take some time off because it gets overwhelming at some point. I need some of my time off. But also, like, when would that be? I'm fighting a continuous battle. I'm stuck in Nigeria, kind of. It's hard. I'm trying to make up money and go for my master's abroad and look at the exchange rate and you're like, oh my God, how am I going to pay this exorbitant school fees? And okay, you say, oh, let me put in the work, and Nigeria is dealing with you. You're working, you're trying to save, you're trying to invest, and every day the naira is becoming dust in your hands. And you're asking yourself, like, where is the hope? Where do people get a break? When do we get a break as young people? When our parents were our age, they tell us the things that they have achieved and done. Can we do that? Really? Can we?
Yeah, I think the word is hope. I think the enemy doesn't want us to be hopeful. The elite doesn't want us to be hopeful.
Yeah, because
they want us fatigued. They want us tired. Because when you're tired and fatigued, there is no point.
Unfortunately,
but we cannot give in. Like, we can't. Like, for me, the way I look at it is this, right? There's no option.
When I said I was going to do my one-person protest, my friend was like, don't you get tired? You have done, and I'm like, if I get tired, then who will do it for me? Have I gotten justice? No. So I'll continue, I'll just continue doing my thing and see where honestly, it leads me. But
I don't think, like I was saying to you before we went on air, the burden on your shoulders is that big that at this point, if you give up, then it was not. What was the point initial? I don't get my point, right? You've gone so far at this point that, for the sake of your brother, for the sake of I would imagine now thousands. If it's hundreds in Anambra, you would imagine another 35 states. There will probably be hundreds. So you're looking at thousands already of cases like this, right? So for the sake of those people, I don't think we can at this point withdraw from this battle or fighting this as, and who knows where it's gonna get to. But I believe it's gonna change at some point. I believe it's coming, and I believe our generation will do it because I see what young people like myself and yourself and millions of other Nigerians, young Nigerians are doing, and it's evident that if we can just get it right, if we can get it right in some areas, whether it's at the state level, at the kind of councillors we elect, at the kind of governors we elect. Because for me, at the macro level, I've signed up from Nigeria. Like, I don't look at Nigeria at the macro level anymore. But for me, at that macro level, it's done. There's no point. It's pointless. If you want to solve Nigeria, solve the 30 states, then Nigeria is solved. So everybody should go back to their states. We are Nigerians. Hopefully, we elect someone good enough and smart enough to change Anambra states. The Imo person does it, the Kaduna person does the same.
You want to elect a governor to change Anambra State? But I think that we leave a lot at the table of the executive in Nigeria. So we begin to clamor and say the executive is not doing enough. We need to also look at what are the legislators doing. What is the judicial? What is our Attorney General in Anambra State doing? Collecting money. You're supposed to be the person heading the public prosecution office. How many public prosecutions have you led? We should be having this conversation. Legislators, every day people go to government house and sit down, the eyes have it. Have what? It's not about approving budgets for the governor. What are you doing? The local government, the money that you people get, what are you doing with it? What is Oka South local government chairman doing? It's not to go to bars and drink and pay for other people's drink. No. What are you doing? What are you doing with the money that comes to you? The money you are generating at the local government level. Where is it going to? We need these people to work. When these people are working, the executive will have no choice but to work. When the executive knows that whether you like it or yes, the legislator wants to work, and if you're going to be the stumbling block, they initiate an impeachment process against you. It puts you on your toes to work. All right? When the chairman is working, the councillor is working, I don't then need to get to the governor to submit my petition about my brother's issue. I can start with the chairman. The chairman can escalate. This thing happened in Oyi local government. That's Okuzuba. Okuz is under Oyi. If I complain to my chairman in Oka South, he reach out to his partner in Oyi, and they say that they cannot solve it from local government level, they escalate it to the governor. And if a chairman is talking to the governor, it's executive to executive, it makes a lot much more better sense. But you see, we are so tired. We just have to go to the executive and speak and ask, because we don't even. When was the time they had a local government election in Anambra State?
Long time ago.
It's a problematic thing. These are not good. These are not signs of us being in a democracy.
Of course.
It shows that we have a dead democracy. Our democracy is fledgling, and it is so scary with what is happening in other countries within us. We are seeing that there is a chance of Nigeria needs to be better. Nigeria needs to work in our time. Right? And honestly, I think young people are putting in a lot of work. Have you seen Mandela Washington Fellows? Do you know how many Nigerians get into those? Have you seen Erasmus Mundus fellowship scholarships? Do you know how many do you see how many Nigerians get scholarships to go and do Chevening, Commonwealth, all of that, and are doing very brilliantly well? If you read their policies, their study statements or whatever, you are wowed by the kind of work they are doing. But private individuals cannot make changes that government can make.
Of course.
Because government changes are policies. Laws, I can say that in my area that nobody should throw paper in front of my gates. It's only me enforcing that one within my gates. But if government makes it a policy, a law, it changes everything. We need to have governments that are willing to act. Governments that are interested in acting for the people, but not just government at the federal level, at the state and local level. We say grassroots mobilization, grassroots working. That's what we need. If at the lower level it is working, then at the higher level we can see it. Bad as P2B was as a governor in terms of human rights violation and respect for human rights, he did a lot of grassroots working. He made sure that community health care systems we are working. He made sure that community schools we are working, free education, all of that, to ensure that at the grassroots level, at the bane of our, like, the starts up, we are good there. Even people say you have to be clean from inside to come outside.
Charity begins at home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we cannot expect Tinubu to do anything at the federal level when Soludo is not doing anything. We cannot even expect a free and fair election at the federal level when states are not doing free and fair election at the state level.
Thank you so much.
The local government elections are state level elections, and the states should allow for freedom for people to be able to make their decisions. Look at what happened in Edo State the other day. And then later, what's his name? The governor of Edo State. Obaseki would then say the elections at the 2023 elections were not free and fair. The one that was in your corner, that was in your table to conduct, how free and fair was it? How free and fair was it? So you cannot, he who comes to equity must come with clean hands. You cannot then say you want free and fair elections when you cannot even offer that within the confines of your power. How do you allow free and fair elections when elections come to happen in your state? Because when elections are happening in federal elections are happening, the state government is in charge, even though it's INEC, right? To protect INEC and INEC properties is within the state. Do you even allow free and fair elections?